My favourite Ashes memories, I think, from playing would be the Test match in 2013. It wasn't particularly a good debut for myself. I think I faced about 5 balls and got 1, but we as a team called that kind of the Great Escape Test. I think we were maybe 90 for 5, a long way behind in the second innings, and Heather Knight and Laura Marsh, the wall, put on an awfully good partnership. I think Heather got 150, Laura got 50, and yeah, we ended up drawing that test and we went on to win the Ashes, thanks to some brilliance from Lydia Greenway down in Southampton. But we were almost in the changing room singing the Great Escape theme tune because we'd escaped defeat. So yeah, for me, that's probably my best Ashes memory from a playing perspective. I absolutely love playing Test cricket. I love watching Test cricket. Absolute cricket tragic I am. But no, for me, Test cricket is the one that really, it is a test. The word gives it away. I think it tests you completely physically, mentally, tactically, emotionally at times. You know, you could be in the field for 2.5 days, open the batting, get out third ball, and that's literally happened to me at Taunton, and then have to pick yourself up very quickly and get back in the field and yeah, do your best for the team, or get out there in the second innings and try and yeah, change the game. So for me, it's just the best format, and I really wish we played more of it. It's really exciting that we've finally got a 5-day test. I think it's really important that we as a women's format get to do more of that. Over the last few years, I mean, I've played only kind of 7 or 8 tests in my 12-year career, and all of them, other than one, have been draws. So to have that 5th day, I think, is really important, and particularly when we've played in England, we've had at least 2 sessions lost to rain every time. So I just imagine what those games could have been, and yeah, we probably could have got some really great results if we'd have actually had the length of time to force results and not try and have to play catch up in the game. The crowd is so important in all cricket, but particularly the Ashes. I think it's still the biggest rivalry both in men's cricket and in women's cricket. Obviously Australia at the moment are the best in the world, and you could argue one of the most successful cricket teams of all time. So it's a really great time to play them, but I feel like when you kind of have that 12th man, 12th person calling from the sidelines, it really lifts you. And we actually had a test match in Canberra in the last Ashes series, and we had probably 15 to 20 of our family and friends, and they started coming up with these crazy chants and silly little songs that they were singing really loudly. And you know, it was the third session of the day. We weren't getting many wickets. I think 2 of their batters were on like 80, 90, and that really lifted us, and that was when the game kind of changed for us. We got a couple of quick wickets from that energy brought from the crowd. So yeah, it's massively important. I think to the people that have either never been to Test cricket or are thinking about coming to the Women's Test of the Ashes this year, I think kind of why not? You know, the standard's going to be as high as it ever has been. The way Australia are playing and the way that we as England are now trying to play, it's going to be really exciting. I think we're going to be trying to take the game forward. But also, I think the best part about watching Test cricket in the crowd is you can be there all day, probably miss the 3 wickets that happen because you're having a great chat with your mates, or someone's gone to the bar to get the next round in, and it's just a really good occasion. Whereas I think other sports kind of lack that drama and that ebb and flow, and the chance for conversations as well. I think women's sport as a whole in this country is really on the cusp of something really special. I think you see the women's Lionesses at the Euros last year absolutely changing the game for women's football. The Rugby Roses girls have done excellently in the Six Nations, and the World Cup just gone, and I feel like women's cricket has kind of gone under the radar a little bit, but the tide's really turning with the 100, and yeah, so much more investment, and I just think it's brilliant time to be playing women's sport in this country, and hopefully, you know, we can kind of go on the crest of the wave with them and take women's sport in England to a whole new level. I think women's Test cricket should really take off after the last few tests. I think pretty much 4 of the last tests across the world have been so exciting, so good to watch. whether that's between England, Australia, England, India, India, Australia. I think it's a really exciting time to be playing it, and hopefully we'll kind of start to see more and more games. Personally, I'd love to play a test somewhere like India. I think it'd be awesome, and yeah, I think hopefully maybe in the future, you know, 2 test match series, 3 test series. I just think it'd be awesome.